Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I might have been wrong on Jake Clavers' prediction. He says if XRP ETFs launch together, XRP could hit 3 to 4 digits. Now, he said this could happen by the end of 2025. So, what's factual and how can we get to even the 3-digit price point? I'm going to show you in this video, but I'm also going to show you with the facts that we have right now. So let's start with this. Only 5 billion XRP remains on the exchanges. I think the SEC will approve all XRP ETFs to launch at the same time, just like Bitcoin. Now, it doesn't seem like they're launching all at the same time unless the government was to reopen. Then we would most likely get all of these approved on the same day. But as of right now, we know one is going live on Thursday. The rest look like they're going to start to follow one after another, going into next week and the following week. And they are right. There's only 5.1 billion XRP left on the exchanges. And Grok confirmed this. So we know that there's a dwindling supply already. And Vet also confirmed this as well. Turns out BitGo just had a rogue script and now spams the ledger with failed transactions because their account ran out of XRP. Other people are saying that there's a lot of other exchanges that aren't disclosing this yet, but they're actually out of XRP as well. But that's still speculation. I want to give you what we know as of right now. And it looks like there's only 5.1 billion XRP left at the exchanges. Now, JP Morgan estimates up to $8 billion of inflows into XRP ETFs in the first year. With only 3 to 5 billion XRP available on exchanges, this could trigger a supply shock, pushing prices far beyond current levels. Depending on how quickly capital enters, XRP could realistically reach $20 to $100 plus as limited supply meets strong institutional demand. Minimum 2 digits this year. Now, he only mentioned institutional demand, but we all know once the breakout begins for XRP, we're going to get retail FOMO at the same time. Retail demand is also going to be very high as well, because there's a lot of people that want to sit on the sidelines and wait until XRP starts popping off before they go all in. And they're willing to pay a premium to do that time and time again. Those are the people that always say, well, I don't want to tie up my money right now. Let's see where XRP goes from here. I want to see if the price goes lower before I buy in. Then all of a sudden, XRP starts popping off and everybody has to have this cryptocurrency because of the fear of missing out. And Grok confirms it. Yes, spot XRP ETFs are required to hold the actual XRP asset, the underlying cryptocurrency, to provide direct exposure to its spot price. This is a core feature of spot ETFs in general, distinguishing them from futures-based or leveraged XRP ETFs, which use derivatives like contracts and do not hold XRP directly. So all of those spot ETFs have to hold the actual asset. That's why spot ETFs are so important to the price of XRP. That's why when people always said, well, there's already a futures XRP ETF, those really don't affect the price of XRP. The spot ETFs do. And I wanted to explain that once again. Then you couple that with this right here, Flare, also locking away XRP as well. So 60 million FXRP minted and counting. The home for productive XRP keeps growing. There is such a demand for FXRP right now. And remember, Flare wants to achieve locking away 5% of the XRP supply, 5 billion XRP. Then we also have treasury companies popping up one after another, creating XRP treasuries as well. This could finally be the run where we see scarcity for this cryptocurrency. But let's get back to Jake Clavers' prediction. I think he's partially right. I think we could possibly see a 3-digit XRP if this all plays out the way people think it's going to play out. Because JP Morgan, I think they underpredicted the inflows into XRP. I still think the XRP ETFs are going to outperform the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, I know the mainstream media news and all the people that go on there, all the Bitcoin maxis, they say nothing is going to compare to the Bitcoin ETFs. But I think they're wrong. I think the institutions are already looking past Bitcoin. And even retail, they're looking past Bitcoin. So when the FOMO begins in this space, it's not going to be in Bitcoin. It's going to be in XRP. David Schwartz may have just leaked XRP's real price, $74.24. Now here's what David Schwartz said. I am deeply and $74.24 in debt to Hugo Weaving, Agent Smith from The Matrix, for recording my new voicemail greeting. Now, David Schwartz, he says things from time to time, and he talks in riddles from time to time as well. But right away, people speculate that he's giving us the price of XRP. But I think it was David just being David. And let me go back for 1 minute on Jake Clavers' prediction. So the 4-digit XRP, which I forgot to mention, I think that's more likely to come in most likely early 2026 as more and more money flows into those ETFs month over month. By the end of 2025, there's a chance we see a 3-digit XRP if the demand is as high as I think it is. As other people have confirmed that there's all these institutions sitting on the sidelines waiting to get into those ETFs. We will know on Thursday. Cardano founder says ADA is holding the line with XRP on ISO 222. And you see, this comes directly from Charles Hoskinson. ISO 222 support is essential to open banking and combining the TradFi and DeFi worlds. ADA is glad to be holding the line with XRP, HBAR, Algo, and others. So a lot of people don't think that ADA is ISO compliant, that it can't be utilized within ISO messaging. But I think that changed over time. Remember, it was always rumored to be compliant. But ISO is going to be a big deal as well. You got to factor that in. Now, is that going to bring value to XRP on day one? Nobody really knows yet. We still got to wait and see what happens once it goes live on the 22nd of this month. But even if it's not instant value, I think it's value that we could see month over month as more and more people utilize crypto within ISO messaging. DBS Bank plus Ripple. Now we know DBS is a partner of Ripple. JP Morgan and DBS are building a tokenization framework for interbank deposits. And that doesn't surprise me because JP Morgan once said Ripple and XRP are poised for significant adoption if they can beat the SEC in court. I still think JP Morgan is aligning themselves with XRP. But the problem is JP Morgan wants to stay in the past as long as they possibly can. They want to keep the current system we have now as long as they possibly can, because they are making money off of this system. Think about all those fees associated with sending money across borders right now, plus that 3 to 5 day waiting period. And all that money, it's like just sitting out there in those Nostro Vostro accounts. At some point, all these banks are going to want to have that money back. And that's why they will embrace RippleNet and XRP. At first, it's going to be all about stablecoins, because that's where all the hype is right now. Later, it'll be all about cryptocurrencies. And the banks are going to be offering cryptocurrencies to their customers, because they're not going to miss out on this. They're going to find ways to make money off of this. Even if, say, for instance, by holding a stable coin, you could earn 4% on exchanges right now. The banks, maybe they offer you 3% or 2% as a new customer at the bank. People that aren't in the crypto space, they will jump on that. They'll think it's the greatest thing ever, because right now, the bank is only giving you a percentage of 1% on a checking account or a savings account. So they start offering 2% or 3%. People will absolutely go with the bank on that, even if it's crypto. And the bank says, hey, you know, we will offer you, say, 10% in returns year over year by holding these cryptocurrencies. People will jump on that. They don't realize, a lot of people out there don't realize that cryptocurrencies can do a 10, 20, 30, 40x over a period of time, a very short period of time. So if the bank offers them 10% returns, the bank can pocket the rest of those returns in a bull run. So the bank would still make a hell of a lot of money, and their customers would still be happy with their measly 10% in returns. But the bank is going to figure out a lot of ways to make money around crypto. I'm just giving you theories on how the bank can possibly make money by getting involved with crypto. But the banks have no choice but to embrace this technology. It's not going away anymore. You know, there was a time where people actually believed that crypto was going to die off and disappear. But now it's solidified. It's part of the United States economy now. Trump is pushing full steam ahead with crypto. We have other politicians pushing full steam ahead with crypto, bringing traditional finance and the digital age together. Finally, there's no more crackdown on crypto. You don't have Gary Gensler anymore. Everything is now about making the United States the crypto capital of the world. And the banks either get on board or they get left behind. And all of it plays out in our favor as XRP holders, because we all get rich in the end. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.